to some breaking news. The Russian missile attack targeted enterprises and critical infrastructure in the central eastern city of Dnipro. The Ukraine Air Force has said. Now that's a fresh statement coming in from the Ukrainian Air Force saying Russian missiles targeted enterprises and critical infrastructure in Dnipro. Remember, viewers, a long-range missile targets critical infrastructure, a massive escalation of the war in Europe. Earlier, Ukraine also fired US-made missiles at Russia, and details of a missile's warhead or type were not given by the Ukrainian Air Force earlier, but now a statement has been issued. Russia launched intercontinental ballistic missiles during the attack. The country's Air Force said the launch of the icbms with a range of thousands of kilometers is coming just days after Ukraine fired US and British missiles at targets inside Russia earlier this week. ICBMs, let's remind you, are strategic weapons designed to deliver nuclear warheads and are an important part of Russia's nuclear deterrent. In fact, let's go across to Abhishek also, who's going to join us live from the newsroom. Abhishek, what we are seeing is a massive escalation of war in Europe. Once again, there seems to be no ceasefire. What more details are we picking up?
Yes, this is a massive escalation. You are right, Kriti, and this is serious. Everyone in the world should be worried because remember, this first use of an intercontinental ballistic missile, an ICBM by Russia, comes in 2 days after they changed their nuclear deterrence doctrine and lowered the threshold of use of nuclear weapon. Now, reports suggest, now these are reports coming in from the Ukrainian side, Russians are yet to speak on this, but reports suggest that this ICBM carried a conventional warhead and not a nuclear warhead, but it's nuclear capable. Now, why this is a warning shot and an escalation is because Russia made it clear day before yesterday when they changed their nuclear doctrine in response to the United States, the Biden administration, allowing Ukraine to use US-made missiles in the war theater, which Ukraine promptly used. Also British-made missiles. Russia's logic is that these are NATO allies, these are NATO countries, and these are nuclear power nations. So by proxy, nuclear power nations are using Ukraine or allowing Ukraine to use weapons of these nuclear powers. So Russia has to respond in kind. That's why they have perhaps used this ICBM today. According to Ukrainian Air Force, this ICBM was launched from somewhere in Astrakhan region and targeted critical military infrastructure or economic infrastructure in the Dnipro region, which is in the central eastern part of Ukraine. This is menacing, to say the least, because this Russian nuclear saber rattling perhaps follows that John Foster Dulles doctrine of brinkmanship, where they are saying that we are going to make it look real, and that's why they have used this ICBM, because in the last 48 hours we have seen topmost echelons of Moscow suggesting that a nuclear war threat is real, given the fact that Ukraine has now been allowed by the Biden administration to use weapons made in the United States, which is the nuclear power. So Russia would, of course, reserve its right to respond, and they firing a warning shot with the use of this ICBM today.
All right. Thank you, Abhishek, for joining us with those details. Viewers, Moscow retaliating after Kyiv launched US-British missiles. A fresh statement coming in from Ukraine Air Force on the latest escalation in the war. Those are the visuals that we have accessed for you. Russia launched a long-range intercontinental ballistic missiles in the attack. All right, and with that, let's shift our focus